nos hemos empeñado en traer los mejores contenidos que pueda haber ahora mismo a nivel mundial. Y la primera ponencia del día es de nuestros amigos de Bar Termini. Estamos hablando del puesto número 9 del 50 Best Bar, que es la lista más prestigiosa a nivel de coctelería. Y bueno, pues nos van a deleitar con algunos de sus secretos. Bienvenidos y muchas gracias por estar aquí.
Bueno, me presento, soy Óscar. Os presentamos a Zoe y a Robin, Dream Factory, Bar Termini, Londres. Para los que no conocéis un poco ese bar, bueno, tienen dos bares en Londres y es un pequeño bar de estilo italiano donde trabaja muy bien todo lo que es el aperitivo, ¿no? Es algo que si vais a Londres deberéis visitar. Yo creo que es un sitio pequeño y muy acogedor. Nos van a hacer la primera ponencia. Esta noche los vais a tener en Decadente. Va a haber una serie de guest bartending internacionales y nacionales en diferentes locales de Madrid. Ahí en lo que es en nuestro expositor podéis ver un poco todo lo que es el plano, en redes, en nuestra plataforma. Y bueno, un placer teneros aquí y espero que disfrutéis con su ponencia y con las que tendremos a lo largo de los 3 días. Muchas gracias y bienvenidos.
Thank you very much, Oscar.
Thank you. Oh, working?
Good. Working.
Well, thank you for coming to the drink show today. We'd like to welcome you from London as well, from Drink Factory and Bar Termini. So first of all, we wanted to start by just introducing ourselves. So I'm Zoe. I've been working with Drink Factory for just over 6 years now. My background is fine art. I studied sculpture in London and ended up working in chocolate. So I started to understand flavour. I always had a passion for food. But really, when I was working with chocolate, I got into the nuance of flavour. So I met Tony Conigliaro, the owner of Drink Factory, when I was working in that job, and sort of moved over to the drinks world, and that was that.
Guys, so this is Zoe, and my name is Robin. I've been working with Bar Termini and Drink Factory for over 3 years, and what is my kind of goal? It's looking after both terminis at the moment. One is in Soho, one is in close to Oxford Street, and I try to make every single guest happy and every single bartender happy as well in this group. I'm from Czech Republic, so I'm not English, so most probably it's going to be a little bit easier to understand me than Zoe. And I hope you will enjoy this presentation.
Cool.
Yeah. So let's talk about this guy first.
Yeah, this is Tony. I'm sure some of you, do you know Tony? Heard of him? Familiar with him in the industry, maybe? But Tony's been in the industry for over 20 years. Worked in a number of amazing cocktail bars in London. Started bar backing, worked his way up. He has a real passion for everything involved in flavour, food and creativity, and he set up Drink Factory originally as a blog. So back in the days when the internet wasn't quite so prominent as it is now, finding information was much more difficult. So him and some friends set up this database where they would update information that they'd found, different books that they'd read, and they opened up a dialogue with perfumers, chefs, food scientists, all sorts of different people. Drink Factory then turned into a physical space when Tony opened his first bar, 69 Colnbrook Row in London, which we'll come back to briefly and chat a bit about the ideas there. Drink Factory now has been going for over 8 years in a physical space. We have an amazing research kitchen, which is a huge room. It's about half the size of this room. We have a huge communal table where all of the bartenders come. We work around the table together. We share ideas. We do all of the research for the new drinks at Drinks Factory, creating the menus for our cocktail bars. working on products for different clients that we're working with, and we do a lot of the creative sort of thinking there, really. We're very lucky to have a lot of different bits of equipment. So we have 2 Buki rotovapors, if we go on. So the rotovapors, some of you I'm sure would be slightly familiar with them. We use them to redistill spirit to add flavour. So we'll add something, say vodka and dried rose petals to sort of this side here. The system's pressurized, so it works at a really low temperature. So we distill across the liquids collected in the second valve here.
Yeah, guys, I think, now we see is exactly the space. But if you really think 10 years ago was really just a website, you know what I mean? So it's massive, really massive step. And Tony changed the location for Drink Factory 3 times, right?
Yes, yes.
And exactly the beginning of this Drink Factory was in his kitchen. So I think you have to really think exactly that's happened, and it's just 10 years. And now we have a really, really kind of massive place, and where we can be like a staff as well. And every single month we have a kind of session which is called Q&A, questions and answers, and we can share all ideas from all teams exactly in this space. I think this is the most important part of Drink Factory, to share ideas. All this equipment, very important for us to have amazing drinks in our bars, but Drink Factory is kind of our platform, kind of like a space where we can go and just take information from Zoe or from Tony, or from our amazing library, like unlimited books, which most probably never gonna read them all. So this is Drink Factory. Next slide.
My life, yeah. So yeah, going back to the equipment, so we redistill, we create a lot of different products that go into our cocktails in the bars. There's a lot of bespoke ingredients that we make, and we look at flavour in a very detailed manner. We always apply a technique so that it captures the correct flavour. So we don't use pieces of equipment just so that we can say we distilled this. It's always because it gives us the right flavour that we're looking for. So it's really looking in detail at the levels of flavour and how you can build those levels to create something really unique. So as well as the stills, we have things like centrifuges, so we can clarify. This is tomato puree that we clarify. Means that we can work on a really consistent level very efficiently and very cleanly. It's got great use for the bar. When you're a small bar with sort of high volume, you need to make sure that you can produce ingredients that are easy to work with.
So how about all these ideas? Where are coming from? Where are you taking inspiration? Because guys, I'm not in Drink Factory, I'm in the bar. I'm in Drink Factory just a time to time. So Zoe, she's there every single day. So tell me, Zoe, where are you taking all this inspiration?
So our ideas come from, not working. Our ideas come from everywhere. So we watch movies, we read books, we listen to music, read magazines, really look at the environment around us. London is an amazing place for all of the different types of people that you see walking down the street, different exhibitions going on. So we keep our eyes open to everything, and really it just, our ideas come from our passions. We are a very open team. As Robin was saying, we do the monthly Q&As, where the teams come to Drink Factory every week. The bartenders make the ingredients for the bars so that they understand how everything is made, and they can communicate that to customers if they're asked. And we have an open dialogue with the team so that anyone can have an idea and anyone can share it and be comfortable sharing it. That's really important because many brains, many ideas are better than just one.
And I can tell you my experience, because every time when we go to Drink Factory and ask for something or coming with some idea, I think the most important thing is never receive a no or we can't, These guys in Drink Factory are always extremely positive, and it's always yes. We always try to find a way how to do it. So if it's idea there, we always go there and try to kind of like, let's say, break the rule. You know, if someone can say can't, you can't do it, we are opposite. We always think we have to. We can, yeah? So this is Drink Factory, always positive. Yeah? And now we're gonna continue with our venues.
So, Colebrook Row, or the bar with no name, has been operating now for just over 8 years. It was Tony's first bar, as we've briefly said, and it was the bar where Drink Factory was upstairs. You can see the window. So it was a tiny, tiny space. Drink Factory is inspired by 1950s film noir, has some Italian references, and also takes some reference points from various bars in Tokyo, very tiny bars that you go into where you just have a few seats. So it's a small bar, there's only like 7 tables. The focus there is classic cocktails, but reinvented. We keep things quite simple. Don't do lots of crazy garnishes. It's all about the flavor, beautiful drink, a great atmosphere, a good night.
Yeah, I remember also a story which Tony told me, because I don't know if you've been in 69 Colebrook Row. It's not the bar which is exactly in the city center. You know, you can, I don't know, like a Malasagna, you know, it's not there, it's quite far away. You know, it's, let's say, from Big Ben, it could be even half an hour, I think, maybe 40 minutes. And Tony came with this idea to do a bar a little bit out, because he wants people to come to see something different, something completely different than in city center. So I think this is also like a cool point to don't be afraid to create something out, a little bit out of the city, but be really unique.
Yeah.
And I think 69 Colebrook is still, after 8 years, very, very unique space. Next one is Bar Termini, which was actually second bar, which Tony opened. And yeah, that's me. I'm there almost since day one, almost. And how about the concept? I don't know if you know what Termini is. Someone of you, do you know Termini? Termini is a main train station in Rome, in Italy. And what we try to build is kind of train station bar. But if you go to train station in this time, you're not going to find this kind of place there. So we took the inspirations from 90s, 50s. I think you also remember this period in Spain was very cool period, no? From 60s, I think. That was like a economic boom. So exactly the same was in Italy. It calls La Dolce Vita time. And everything was cool. Second war just finished, and everyone started to enjoy life, from coffee through spritzes, proseccos, negronis. All these famous drinks were born in 50s, especially Aperol Spritz. I think many people, they don't know, okay, we drink right now, but it's drinks from 50s. So this is Bar Termini. What we try to focus, we are a bar which is open almost all day, all night. So we are open from the morning, from really like early morning for a coffees, in the afternoon for aperitivo, and in the evening, obviously, for digestive. Both of them are located exactly in city center. One of the reasons I think is because so many restaurants are around in city center, and also many theaters and cinemas as well, especially in Soho. So what we have, could you imagine your day? You go to work, you're gonna have a coffee in Termini Soho. After you go to work, you work hard, you finish, you go for a, let's say, aperitif, again, to Termini, you have a nice aperitif drink, you go for a dinner, you enjoy nice dinner with wine, for example, yeah, and after you are full and you are coming back around 10, 11, 12 to Termini again, have a digestive. So I think this is the concept. And I think very important is also we try to replicate kind of nostalgia feeling. Yeah, so we took the best from 50s and we brought to London and to this era to make feel people a little bit more, again, nostalgic and happy. This is our espresso cup, and yeah, the most famous aperitivo drink in the world, which is Negroni. We're gonna talk about this a little bit later, so we're gonna know it doesn't look exactly like Negroni.
I don't know if you could tell from the picture, but Tony has Italian heritage. So he has all these amazing memories of going to Italy when he was young, trying different ingredients that you just couldn't get in the UK at that time. So he has this very sort of poetic and nostalgic view on Italy that he wanted to sort of recreate and communicate and share with people. So.
Yeah, and also because we are a bar, but we have also food, and this is kind of part of food event as well. So yeah, we try to focus also on food. So it's not necessary to have just the drinks and not really good food. So we try to do both all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I think with new concept, which is Untitled, even more, right, Zoe?
Yeah, so Untitled has been open for just about 1 year now. It's our most forward-thinking concept, and it's the concept that most closely relates to the work that we do at Drink Factory. There's a decent percentage of the work at Drink Factory that is very ambitious, very forward-thinking, and perhaps not very consumer appropriate. You know, there are some drinks that you make that you know are good, but perhaps people aren't going to order them. They're a little bit out there, very sort of challenging perhaps. So the idea was to look at some of that work that we did and try and find a space where we could showcase that, and that turned into Untitled. So the idea was to create a space that was about the community. So we're based in East London here. We have a lot of creative people living in East London of all ages, young, old, all sorts. The idea was to have everyone sat around this central concrete table and really put the focus back onto the people. We're so used to bars these days having a star bartender, and people go just to visit that bartender and they take the center stage. We wanted to switch that Untitled, so the bar station is actually the same level as the table, so it's sort of almost more welcoming. You're at the same level as the bartender. It's as much about you as it is about me. We have quite an ambitious list of drinks. There's 12 drinks on the menu, and each drink is listed by a single word. So Robin right now is passing out a little sample for one of the drinks for you to taste. And I'm going to play a video that basically is our menu. We do serve food as well at Untitled, so we work with an amazing chef who used to work in Barcelona called Rob Roy Cameron. The food menu is slightly Japanese inspired, all small plates, so you can come, you can have a full dinner, or you can have a few snacks, enjoy drinks, and relax. So yeah, here's the video. If we can press play. Cool. You will have a drink? You tasted it?
Not all of them, not all of them. I'm running.
Untitled takes a lot of inspiration from Andy Warhol and the Silver Factory and that period of time in New York as well. Andy Warhol was quite an interesting character. Untitled by no means is a Warhol-themed bar. It shares a point of view in that what Warhol did was surround himself with really interesting people, and he recorded what happened. And that was the ethos that we wanted to take and sort of play upon within the venue. So each image within the video actually references one of the drinks. So you did actually see an image of what you're tasting. And I don't know if anyone can put two and two together, maybe. I'll wait one moment. Well, the drink is titled Snow. So the idea was to capture the sensation when you're young. I don't know, do you get snow in Madrid sometimes in the winter? Yeah. So when you're young and you're out playing in the snow and you stick out your tongue and you capture a snowflake on your tongue, that was the idea behind the drink. So we distilled several different products using the rotavapors. So we have clay, flint and chalk to kind of create the sensation, almost give a texture and very, very delicate light flavor. And the secret ingredient is actually enoki mushrooms. So you know the Japanese very thin mushroom. This is a drink, how we serve it in the bar. So the mushrooms, yeah, I say they were the secret ingredient. This drink we worked on for 2 years, and it had several different versions. And the first version had 20 ingredients. You know, we had mint, we had cooling ingredients, we had green ingredients to give fresh notes, all sorts. Wasn't really going in the direction we liked, so we stopped working on it, sort of put the drink away for a few months, came back to it, and I happened to be going on holiday to Norway, ended up hiking up to a glacier, and kind of thought, oh, well, it's snowing. Maybe I should pay attention to my environment. And, you know, just thinking about, you know, using my senses, my sight, my smell, and kind of decided that snow smells a little bit like damp mushrooms. If you've had mushrooms in the fridge and they've got a little bit of moisture on them, and the white part, they have this very delicate, earthy smell. So ended up texting Tony, that was like 2 in the morning or something, being like, snow tastes of enoki mushrooms. And by the time I came back from my holiday, the lab team had freeze-dried some mushrooms, redistilled them, and we had this liquid that was the missing ingredient. So with this drink, I'm not sure on the temperature right now, but we serve it normally at quite a precise temperature, again to try and communicate that idea of cooling sort of cold snow. And it's at a slightly lower ABV than a martini. It's not too strong. Again, I mean, snow is a very delicate, soft thing when you think about it, so you can't serve something that's really strong and punchy and boozy because that will destroy the idea in that respect.
How many drinks do you have in the drawer? Just
oh gosh.
Many, no?
There's a lot.
Yeah, I have also a story. I was with Tony in Prague, and we went for a lunch, and he spent really like 1 hour to writing some notes, you know, and all of them are exactly in boxes in Drink Factory, right? So yeah, never-ending inspiration, and all the time try to take some notes, and maybe you're gonna use them one day.
I mean, every recipe, every version of a recipe we keep, every single note page we keep. So we have files and files and files, because sometimes you go back, you know, you realize that, you know, version 2 of 10 was much better, so you need to trace every step you took. And sometimes you're working on something and you don't appreciate what it is you're working on, and it's not until a few years later when you find a piece of equipment, or you've read a certain book about a certain technique, or seen something, that you can reuse that information. So the freeze dryer, unfortunately I don't have a picture of it, but we freeze dry. It's a bit like a dehydrator, but it works from frozen, and it works under a vacuum, so there's no heat involved. So again, you keep the integrity of flavor of the product. Freeze dryer was one of those pieces of equipment that allowed us to process lots of products that we've not been able to work with before. In particular, kind of green products, so things like fresh mint. You know, when you stew mint, it goes very muddy, very brown. You know, we were able to treat it so that we kept a sort of vibrancy of flavor beforehand. So well, you
go for it. So innovation and research. So
yeah, so I mean that's all that we're about, really. Looking at how we can always do something new. We get really bored, I think, quite easily. So we do something and we're always ready to move on to the next thing. So always looking and always researching. Looking at the people around us and how we can, you know, really create something that we enjoy, I guess.
Cool. So let's go to like the main things are, let's say, drinks in the bars. So which one are you having right now?
Yeah, so I mean, for me in my 6 years with Drink Factory, there are 3 iconic moments that I think really changed how we think about constructing and making drinks and serving them. And the first moment was the Prairie Oyster. So this was served at 69 Colnbrook Row, was put on the menu about 5 years ago. We've taken it off, and people go crazy, so it's now back on.
Yeah, it's such a memorable moment because we served this drink on actually arriving, right? Like
Yes.
a kind of welcome. So many people have in their minds, and we remove it from the list, and they were just like, "What's going on? What's going on? We want this drink back." So it's back on the menu again.
So the idea was to create a gift, so that you go to a bar, you sit down, and you're actually given something. You guys kind of do it with your, in the style that you drink, but it's not something that's traditional really in the UK. The idea was to disarm the guests, so give them something that's surprising, that makes them think about what they're then about to experience and create a memorable moment. So the yolk is a spherified tomato juice. So we've, what's the word?
Centrifuge, no?
Centrifuged it so that it's clear. We dress it with horseradish vodka that we redistill at Drink Factory, and various other ingredients that you would find in a sort of Bloody Mary. So there's some celery juice, some red wine vinegar, some sherry. We had a little bit of green tea. We work a lot with teas. It's kind of another secret ingredient. Sometimes you can't really taste the tea, but they give a structure to the drink. They're sort of tannic qualities. With green tea, it has quite a high umami content. So we played around finding the right tea to match what we were working with. The leaf on top is an oyster leaf. And the oyster leaves, they grow by the sea, and they actually taste like oysters. So the idea was that you literally did this thing
Yeah,
with
it's
a
a
shot.
one sip drink is very small. It's perfect surprise, I think, for every single guest. You come with expectation you're gonna have amazing Manhattan, and you're gonna receive this, which is gonna just really blow you away. In my opinion, it looks like egg, and it's not. Yeah. So let's go for the next one.
So the second drink is the terroir. So this was the precursor to the snow. I'm assuming you're all familiar with terroir of wine. So back in 2012, this became a bit of a hot topic in the wine community. People were discussing whether or not where you grew the vines, if you could taste the chalk in the earth, the sort of mineral qualities that came through, how if your vineyard was by the sea, you somehow had these saline elements in wine. People were debating whether or not this is real, this is possible, or if this is just some clever marketing. So we thought it was a really interesting subject and got us thinking about the terroir of cocktails. And we ended up talking with Harold McGee, who's quite a famous food scientist and friend of ours, very lucky to know him. And he came over to Drink Factory, we did a few tests, we distilled some Flint and tasted it, and we're like, well, something is there. I don't really know what, but something's definitely changed.
Yeah, how you redistillate Flint, because I think you can't really imagine. It's really like a stone, right?
Yeah,
it's really
the worst job in the world.
Yeah. So we really kind of redistillate stone, which is can sound a little
so
bit weird.
So we
but
crush the stone, so it's a powder, so that it's safe. Safe in terms of it's going in a glass device. The glass is all plastic coated, so it's not too bad.
Clay and lichen, right?
Clay and lichen.
Yeah, and I think it's became an idea kind of create drink which is gonna taste like vineyard but without taste of wine and grapes. Yeah. This is the idea of the drink, and also we serve like a wine. We serve straight from the bottle, and the bottle is from the wine. Has a year on it as well, so I think it's very, very clever drink, and also very cool to show people, look, terroir, you order a drink, but we bring you a kind of wine, but it doesn't taste like wine, right?
Yeah, I mean, with the cocktails that we develop, the development doesn't stop in the kitchen. It carries on the floor. So we look at how the drink is served, the type of glass, what the bartenders will say when they serve a drink. So they physically...
Exactly like a concept, like...
Yeah, so they
complex
physically
concept.
take this to the table and pour it at the table like you would in a restaurant.
So now, again, Termini, and the main drink there is Negroni, the first drink on the list. And yeah, what we did, we took the drink from 50s, which I think all of you know. It's a drink which is usually served in the rock glass on ice, on the rocks. And what's happening with the Negroni on the rocks? The first sip which you have is slightly different than the last one, right? Because you drink, let's say, 5-10 minutes, and you have a kind of dilution of ice. For many people, it could be nice, you know, to have a different drink all the time during the drinking. But I don't think the quality is exactly, you know, the same. And that's what we do. We are looking for exactly the same quality and exactly the same, let's say, all the time the same. How to say?
Consistent.
Consistent. Yeah. So all the time. So what we did, we cooked the gin, sweet vermouth, and Campari in sous vide. And let's say we bottled all these our Negronis with perfect dilution already. So what we do, we serve them without ice, straight from the freezer, exactly the perfect temperature. And what are you having on the table? You are having amazing drink, which is exactly the same from the first sip to the last one. Also, the glassware is designed exactly for this drink. It's around 60-70 ml. So the drink is not getting warmer, you know, even in summertime. It's exactly the same because you're going to drink them, let's say, 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah.
We have, obviously, we have a guest which they drink this Negroni 10-15 minutes, but yeah, such a shame. It's a drink for 3-4 sips, I guess. Yeah, so this is our house Negroni.
So the process behind this in relation to the research in the kitchen, a number of years ago, back in sort of early 2000s, Tony started bottling cocktails. So he would take alcohol-based drinks, so nothing with any fresh ingredients that may perish, go off. He would bottle them, so Manhattans, El Presidentes, Martinis, Negronis, and he left them to rest, much like he would wine, just put them in a cellar. And actually, he technically forgot about them, and it wasn't until he was moving that he realized that he had all these bottled cocktails and started to taste them, and found that the flavor had changed in a really interesting and really delicious way. So flavors had integrated, they'd become much smoother, flavors were more robust, really interesting sort of project. So that idea sort of turned into further research as to how we could replicate that in a more consistent and speedy manner, because unfortunately, well, you know, fortunately, we're a busy bar, but with a busy bar you need a lot of product to sell. So we didn't have the space or the sort of means to, you know, rest thousands and thousands of bottles of Negroni. So we had to find a method that would, you know, imitate this aging process, and that method was sous vide. So we had some naturally bottled aged products analysed versus some product that we cooked sous vide at a really low temperature, and found that the end results were very similar. And that allowed us to then explore this option for the menu when we were developing the drinks list for Termini. And it's really important as well, so if any of you have been to Termini, or if any of you come to London and do go, you'll see that the bar is tiny. I mean, it's almost like the size
like
of the stage.
So yeah, we have to be really quick. And
yeah, so looking at how Robin and his team could serve drinks really quickly and really efficiently while still being personal. So again, Robin takes the Negronis to the table, you know, has his amazing chats
at the
with people,
table, we do
pours.
kind of show, and always
really
giving
works.
some extra experience for our guests. I think we are quite long already right now, so I'm going to ask you just let's break this this presentation a little bit. I'm going to ask you to take your phone right now, and like your mobile phone, take your mobile phone right now, open the messenger or notes or something where you can write if you don't have a paper, and answer on this question, please. Which bar is the best for you? Yeah, you have, let's say, 20 seconds. Yeah, don't think too long. Just to write it down. Exactly what you think, yeah? Got it, all of you? You ready? Perfect, so we're gonna continue with presentation right now. So what we were talking about, we were talking about how everything started, how Tony did the blog, and after how he opened the bars and how he created the concept. So what do we have? We have amazing ideas behind, we have a concept, we have a real bar with all its furniture, very well designed, good music, we have a drink factory like a platform behind us, so drinks are there as well. So what are we missing? What do you think? What are we missing to have a good bar? Music? We have a music as well. We have amazing DJ. He's doing a music for us. And what else we are missing? Again, we have amazing drinks. Yeah. Exactly. We are and guests. Yeah. True. So we are missing people, right? Us who's gonna serve these drinks. You can have amazing bar, you can have amazing drinks, but if you're gonna have someone who's not gonna serve them, it's not gonna be cool. So we need good people. So now I'm gonna talk a little bit about experience, how to deliver this experience, yeah, how to deliver to the table, and what is really important. And I think everyone will agree it's a welcome. And it doesn't matter if you work in the hotel, if you work in the supermarket, if you work in the boutique, or if you sell cars. First, what you do, you always go to your potential guest and you say, hello. Hello, how are you? Hola, ¿cómo estás? So all the time we do this. If you don't do this, the guest's gonna feel like, okay, am I here? Do they care I'm here? Do they want my money? Many people, you don't want my money? So this is, I think, the very important thing. Welcome. And I have such a shame you can't see this. I'm gonna just read it. This is the post from Instagram, which I found, let's say, three days ago. So I add to this presentation. And it's very, very funny. It's a girl, her name is Banana Walsh, and she went to Termini Soho, and she wrote it. First time at Termini Soho, first her experience. And the bar is open already 3 years. First time there. The drinks are amazing. But my favorite thing about this teeny tiny bar has got that every time someone new walks in, all 4 members of staff look up, what's going on, someone opened the door, all of us, 4 of us, and greet them in unison, like, hello, all of us at the same time. That's happening, most probably. This is exactly the post from Instagram, so most probably that's happened. And what can I just say? I say, oh my God, good job, team, Because look, she totally forgot about the drink. Okay, great drink, but what she has in her mind is something unique, something very special, something what gives the experience, Like, look, everyone is welcome here, And it's a very small place, and I think this is very, very cool. So this is the experience her experience from Bar Termini Soho. I hope you're gonna have the same experience one day. Memorable drink. So that's what we were talking about. Yeah. That is our Negroni. That's something what nobody else have at the moment. And it's so unique, so memorable, so everyone knows about this. We serve these Negronis. We serve Negronis different way, and they are very, very special. So I think every single bar should have a kind of like a, let's say, flagship, or something
signature.
Really, kind of signature drink which everybody knows, I don't know, let's say dry martini, they have their martini when they count, so we know about this, but I think Termini now has a Negroni. So when you open your bar, or if you have a bar, try to focus on this, really something memorable, right? So what is next? Great atmosphere. Obviously, that's what we try to create. Time to time is very difficult, especially when you open the bar, you don't have a guest, so how to create this kind of atmosphere. I think the most important thing, which Tony said to every single member, look busy. Even if it's nothing to do, look on your bartenders if you are owner, or if you are bartender, try to look busy, Try to do something, Try to walk, try to clean something, move something, think about, how to improve this, maybe move water glasses from right to the left, something like that. Always do something, because guests, they like places where something is going on. You know, you go for a date, and it's not really good date, so you're getting a little bit bored. You want to see, I don't know, okay, that's going on there, that's going on there, yeah? This is, for example, this kind of experience. So I think great atmosphere, again, very difficult to create, especially when it's the bar empty. When it's busy, it's easy, no? It's easy, everyone is just enjoying.
We also look a lot here at the music, the type of music, the timing of it. So we will change the pace of the music depending on the day of the week and the time of the service.
Yeah. I totally forgot about this. I think this should be standard, you know, lights down, music up, you know, candles, you know, a bit lovely, you know, to do a really lovely place and people can feel really comfortable. And if you create a super cool atmosphere, it's also difficult because it's very difficult to tell them, look, guys, you have to go because another table is coming, you know, another reservation because they feel really, really comfortable. So that's what's happening usually. They really don't want to leave, and this is cool. Yeah, this is really, really cool. I remember the moment when I was in Greece, and in Greece, in every single bar they have a DJ. Unbelievable. This is amazing because DJ can feel the atmosphere, you know, a little bit even more than bartender because he focuses just on people. So I think if you have a budget or if you have a space, have a DJ in your bar. Yeah? Or license, yeah. Oh, really? Oh my God, so I didn't know. I think we need a license as well for a live performance and maybe for a DJ as well.
I think we need space.
Yeah, we have another problem. We need a space. So we have all of this. We have also good people, but we have to motivate them. And yeah, this is the key point for every single bar owner and also bartender to be motivated and to have a passion all the time, you know. It's not a day where you can be down. It's not. You are professional, you are always positive, you have always passion with you. You are not living at home, yeah? So you cross the door and you have again passion, smile, and you go to war because you want. And what do you want? You have a passion, what do you want? You want to push, right? You want to push yourself somewhere, you know? Move. Don't stand on the one place, okay, the bar is good. No, move somewhere else, you know? Push your place even more. So this is our team. How you can see, everyone's extremely happy. Not just on the picture, I hope in the live as well. I'm not gonna tell you it's all the time like this. Of course it's not. Of course, time to time they have their own problems, and yeah, it's hard. We are people, no? What to do? I don't know if you know explanation of the word team. No, everyone is talking about team, about teamwork, but what team exactly is? So together, all of us, if we're gonna open some place, yeah, every single member of you achieves much more, you know? I think Michael Jordan, he said, the talent can win the game, but the team wins the league. You know, I think that's what you should remember and take inspiration from a sport. We, with Zoe and Drink Factory and with Tony, we are one team with all bars together. That's why we try to push borders, you know, all the time, somewhere. We're always moving, you know, never ending, right?
Yeah.
I hope it will never stop. It's so cool at the moment. I think this motto, I think you saw somewhere, I don't know, keep calm, don't drink water, drink champagne, you know, this kind of thing. So this one, keep calm, teamwork makes the dream work. When I saw this first time, I was just like, oh my God, again, this kind of, you know, not really cool, no. Again, everyone is doing, you know, this, and we know teamwork makes the dream work. I'm totally changed my mind because it's really true. If you follow a couple of rules, it's really true. And I think you can remember 2010 in Spain. What's happened in 2010? Do you remember teamwork? 2010, Spain. No? Football? No? FIFA World Cup? No? Do you remember this? So this is the typical example of teamwork. These guys, they won championship, right, in 2010 for Spain. So they showed you how to play like a team. And you, like a fans, you support them, right? So when I'm creating a team and I'm hiring people, I'm always looking like on the pitch, like a football pitch, you know? You can't have just some like a cool attack players who scores. You can't. Yeah? All of them have to have the same goal, win the match, you know, have a passion, but you need someone, like a goalkeeper, someone in the back, offensive, someone in the middle, you know? So try to think like this, you know? You can't have just a superstars in your team. You need also hard workers, you know? I have one guy in the team, and I know when is he on the shift, we have to have one extra person because he's so chatty with guests, you know? So he's talking. So we need someone else who's gonna do his job a little bit. But it's nothing wrong, you know? I'm not gonna tell him, look, don't talk with them that long, you know? I know he's doing experience for them, so we need someone else who's gonna push behind him, you know, who's gonna defend. So this is also important. I hope you're gonna create this kind of perfect team all the time. We can't forget about the coach, right? So, yeah, we have our coach, and he's Tony, so very similar, no? I think, yeah, look. I think Tony is a little bit more happy now. I don't know, it looks like. So, yeah, coach is very important as well, but he has also part of the team. You know what I mean? And also the guys in the back, like a massage and this kind of stuff. Also, you know, everyone is important in the whole team. Also, the guys, they give you a salary end of the month. They are important as well, right? So team. And funds, of course. So in Termini, we have many funds on Facebook, many funds on Instagram as well, and many funds every single day at the bar. Yeah, that's our guests. And you know what we say in like football words? Fans are number 12 player, right? The most important one, actually, because without them, what are you going to do in the bar? You have amazing concept, you have amazing drinks, you have amazing team, but you don't have fans, you don't have any guests. With fans, it's difficult, you know? If you don't play really well, they don't really support you, you know? It's better to play better all the time, to be on the top. On the other side, look, we have so many regular guests, regular fans, and they know if you don't have your day, they're gonna say, no worries, you know, I'm your fan, you are in my heart, you know. So this is the team work, and I think it's one of the latest slide, right? We are going to the finish, so no worry. We are Bar Termini, and every single member when join the team calls Terminator. You know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know if you know this movie, Terminator. So we don't have any problems, we don't have any issues. Problem actually doesn't exist, this word in the team. And yeah, we are kind of, let's say, superhero, but half human, half robot, yeah. So that's who we are. And we took inspiration from this guy also for one extra reason. He said, don't break the rules, but don't break the law. This is one of his sense, like a, you know, life, I would say, a life rule, no? Kind of life rule. So, break the rules, don't break the law. We change a little bit, because could you imagine in the bar if every single member started to break the rules, which you set up, like an owner, it's not gonna be cool. So what we said to every single member, I say, be yourself, but follow the rules. To break the rules, you must first master them, you know? You have to really sure you know how to use this rule, and after you can break it easy, you know, for 5-10 minutes, you know? I don't know, someone is not allowed smoking in the bar. I'm joking, it's a law, yeah? So this is the difference, yeah? But if someone wants, I don't know, espresso al bar at the table, we don't do this, you know? But I know I can do it tonight, you know? Because I know how to break the rule, because I mastered them already. Yeah, so this is it. This is from me, I think from Zoe, everything. And I hope it's give you something, I hope. I hope you enjoyed the presentation as well. And you can follow us on some social medias. You can also write me an email to Zoe as well. And if you have right now any questions, just ask. Yeah, just ask. Oh, yeah. You mean exactly the...
Untitled, I mean, there's two elements there, because we have the food offering. So a lot of waste products, well, not necessarily waste, but say if you're juicing lemons and you have the leftover lemon husks, we look at how we can use those in different pickling products. So look at minimizing our waste there. In terms of plastic waste, it's sort of a really passionate topic that is sort of become really the focus at the minute. And I think a lot of stuff is going to change in the sort of world in general about plastic and how we understand it and use it. So looking at how we minimize our plastic waste is,
Look, we will try for sure to minimize all the time, but it's very difficult if you want to just focus on bar industry. We have many suppliers, and look, we received, I don't know, something from
it's a
drink
very
supplier,
big
and we have everything
picture.
in plastic, you know. So what you can say? Not necessary. Milk, you know, milk is covered in plastic again. You know, so hey, it's hard. We'll do our best, but
I think everyone is pushing for sort of things to change in the region of the suppliers, the supermarkets, so that things aren't just delivered in plastic. Because straws, yes, we can recycle, we can use biodegradable, look at different materials, but it's such a small fraction of the amount of plastic that you use just in running any business, really. So,
More questions, guys?
When it comes to gastronomy, in that sense, how do you recommend to these countries that they don't have implemented like this food pairing stuff? Do you have any chef that work with you together? How do you advise this to your customers in the side of the bartender? Which are the suggestions that you give us?
So working with food pairing specifically, it's all about our team and educating the whole team. So as we were saying before, all of the bar teams come to Drink Factory. There's an open discussion with myself, with Tony, about our ideas, our thoughts, why we've selected certain pairings that go together. We do a little bit more at Untitled again because there's more food. So the staff have an understanding of our thoughts behind our suggestions. And we also take ideas from them. So, generally, like everyone who works for us is passionate about food and flavour and wants to be able to taste better and have a better understanding. So it's actually quite simple in that respect. We have used food pairing tools in the past and done work with people like Bernard Larousse from foodpairing.com. Worked on some really interesting projects with Martini, looking at different products that we compare with different spirit, products. But with all things, taste is so subjective. There's never a right or wrong answer. Yes, we might all agree that some things taste better than others and some pairings work better than others and some people will find that they don't. So it's an ongoing development, really. Any more?
Good.
Cool.
Una pregunta, ¿cómo valora el cliente el precio?
Just a second.
Sorry.
Hola. You got it? Go ahead. Just a second. No, maybe. Channel. No, I can hear myself right now. I think it's
¿Cómo valora el cliente el precio de un Negroni servido en un vaso tumbler on the rocks o en una minúscula copa de cristal ya preparado con anterioridad? ¿Qué diferencia hay o qué opinión tienen los clientes?
Oh yeah, this is a really cool question. What you mean? What guests thinks about this?
The guest, what's the guest opinion?
Exactly. Look, we deliver them a Negroni. They order a Negroni, which they know it's gonna be on the rocks, and we deliver them this, right? We give them a little bit information before, look, our house Negroni is slightly different. No, it's a little bit different than normal Negroni. So we prepare them, and also it's a little bit cheaper than classic drink. And after they receive this, and they are just like, it's so delicious. You know, it's so delicious. And many people told me like, oh my God, why I should drink a Negroni on the rocks now? Because the drink is really perfect because it's going from the freezer. It's a perfect temperature and perfect dilution of water. So really, it's so cool. And many people just say, look, I don't want to go back to regular Negroni. I think this is the most important, actually, feedback, I think, for us.
One thing we didn't say is that there's 5 different flavoured Negronis. So we've got 4 here. So we serve one infused with rose, one infused with pink pepper, bergamot, and 2 are aged differently. So one has a longer aging, so it's a more robust flavour. So the idea, obviously drinking 5 cocktails in a bar, I mean, sometimes you can have 5 cocktails and sometimes the next day you don't feel too great. So the idea was also to serve slightly smaller drinks so that people would have the opportunity to taste all 5. Because if you're really interested in food and flavour and passionate about it, you want to try as many different things as possible. With alcohol, there's obviously an issue because, there's a side effect. So the smaller volume means, and the lower price means that guests can order 2 or 3 Negronis, spend a similar amount of money, and have 3 different taste experiences as well. So that
Taste
generally
more,
helps.
Say. Okay, some more? More questions?
No?
And nobody wants to know why I asked you to write the bar?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody? Yeah, you do. So yeah, this is funny. I don't need to know what did you write it. I'm not going to ask you what did you write. But I heard a story from kind of Japanese bar in Tokyo, and my friend, he asked bartender, like, look, I'm here for 2 days. Where I should go for a drink? Where I should go? Which place is the best in Tokyo? To have a nice cocktail. And the bartender, he answered him like, look, you are sitting here. I work here. I work here already 20 years. I do my best every single day. This is the place, the best in Tokyo for a drink. Oh, I don't want to tell you like write down your bar or your place where you work, but you should actually, because you really have to believe the place where you work is the best. Otherwise, it's not a point to be there and work hard and push the borders. You should feel, look, I do every single day my best to make every single guest satisfied and happy, and that's all about. We have to really truly believe, and I do. If someone asks me which bar is the best for me, I'm straight answering. And the whole team as well, actually, right now. So yeah, believe in your project and obviously in yourself as well, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.